And welcome back to another episode of Embrace Your Brand. So for this episode, I decided that I wanted to kind of review a book that I read that I really just love. There's so much value in reading and gaining knowledge from other people, seeing their perspectives, their insights. And so this might be, who knows, maybe part of an ongoing process where books that I read and would highly recommend, I'll do a little review on it. So this will probably be a very short episode, but the book that I want to talk about is called No More Mondays, and it was written by Dan Miller. So after I had read this book, I looked up online about Dan Miller and went to the website and found out that he actually passed in January of this year. So, that's kind of sad, just because so much of his work, really went into helping people get off the rat race and the hamster wheel of just jobs they weren't being fulfilled with. And so, this can be kind of in tribute to him. But a few things that I wanted to talk about about this book that he wrote is, I love that it is jam-packed full of examples of successful people. And it gives more of their story than just their moment of success. It gives parts of their story where, what it kind of took to get them there, what they were doing before until they hit that pivotal moment that really changed things for them. One of the examples was Stanley Mason. That's one of the people that he shared in his book. And I'll tell you, it's on page 205, because I absolutely thought it was so interesting that this man invented 100 very useful functional products, and many of them that we use today, like the dental floss dispenser, and I can't even remember how many, but just so many things that we don't even think about, who invented this, where did this come from? But he made it his mission to develop one new invention every year for I don't know, from the time he was about 35, somewhere in there, in his mid-30s, until the time he was 70-some years old, so or even older probably. 50 years there. He spent 50, 55 years coming up with new inventions to just help people, to serve someone in some capacity. So there's examples of people like him, and so many different people in the world that have made such impact, some that we don't even know about, or that you might not even be aware of. Also, there's lots of talk about just income generating options of, it talks even about if you want some structure, you want a 9-to-5, you want a 40-hour work week or a part-time job, that how to go about finding and opening up your mind to the possibilities of how to enjoy your work, but also hit your income goals. It's that, I feel is the entire scope of the book, to just open your mind to those possibilities of how to enjoy your work, or start getting yourself into work that you enjoy, and hit income goals, or exceed income goals. And he listed several different ways of how to find work that truly fits you. There's so many possibilities out there. There's so many things you could turn into an income generating business. Whether it's just traditional employment, it's freelance work, you're selling a product, you're consulting, you're doing franchising, you're a distributor, so you have a company that you really advocate for and you sell their product and just help distribute it. There's licensing, where say you're a really big sports fan of a specific team. If you get the license, you can make all kinds of memorabilia and products with the team logo and the team name and all this different stuff. There's just so many different modalities, including the business opportunity to make a brick and mortar, to do an entrepreneurial business, to have a service-based business. And then there's those random things that fit into the category of, I never thought of that. I never thought this could be a business. Or this could be work that could generate an income. Honestly, our imagination is our limitation. So the broader that you can stretch your imagination, the broader the possibilities there are for you. And another point he touched on in this book that is so important is that struggle is a necessary part of growth. So many solutions came about because of there being a problem. So many products we have today came about because somebody thought, okay, there's a problem here. I could make something to solve it. I could make something, better. I mean, even Henry Ford, when he was building, the Model T, building a car, I think a lot of people thought he was kind of crazy. Like, horses and wagons are perfectly fine. But no, he had a better idea of how to change the way we have transportation. And also, here's some cool statistics that are listed in this book all around the fact that, sometimes we don't think about starting a business because we're like, I just don't have enough money to just go out and start a business. But he makes the argument that money isn't the problem. Did you know that business owners are 74% of millionaires in America? Like, there were very, very low percentages of millionaires that were lawyers or doctors or professional athletes or popular musicians and artists and things. Like, the majority of millionaires are business owners. And also 26% of startups require absolutely no capital. Basically, you start with what you got, where you're at, and you build a business out of it. That's a pretty good percentage. So, like, 1 in every 4 startups don't require any capital. That just kind of blows my mind. Also, 34% require less than $5,000. So if you add that together, that's 60% of business startups require either $5,000 or less to start. So really, he makes a great argument with those statistics that money isn't the problem to starting a business. It's having the energy, the ambition, the desire, and the imagination. Those are the main things that it takes to start up a business or to start doing something that you absolutely love. And finding work that really fits you is the main thing. It's like, if you have that energy, if you have that ambition, that desire, that imagination for whatever it is you want to do, you will attract the money. The money will come. And I know that sometimes it's easy to get so focused on, like, well, how do I get the money? How do I get the money? And instead of focusing on, if I just love what I'm doing, if I just have that energy, that drive, that desire, and, open my mind to imagining the possibilities, that energetically is going to make the possibilities have the capability of incoming the money you need to get started, incoming the money you need to keep going, incoming the money you need to continue providing you with the potential to do what you love. And one of the last things that he kind of mentions in this book too is, like, if you're going to go out and you're going to start your business, to, like, how to set your rates hourly, per project, or, to put things in a container where you offer a set package or a bundle on a recurring basis. And, that just kind of goes into, like, find what kind of work fits you. I know specifically for me, I'm in the traditional workspace. I have a part-time job that I go to about 3 days a week. But I also have this freelance type of business where, I help individuals build out their personal brand, understand their brand strategy, how that works in their favor to help them build a lifestyle and a business that they love. that's going to create customer experiences that result in sales and income that helps them to keep going and keep making impact doing what they love. So, there's no one size fits all. You find what really works for you, what excites you, gives you that energy, that ambition, desire, sparks your imagination, and keeps you from dreading Mondays. Basically, you're excited for Mondays. You're excited for every day of the week. There's no more dreaded Mondays that you've tried to forget the whole week on the weekend, and then all of a sudden here it creeps back up again on Monday. So I absolutely just loved this book. I love that it was so well based on also like spiritual and biblical principles too. So I'm going to drop into the show notes a link to this book that you can find on Amazon, and also I'm going to drop a link to the websites that go along with Dan Miller and No More Mondays. They are 48days.com and also the No More Mondays blog.com. I just really love this book and really felt like I needed to do a quick kind of review on it and a recap of just what all really stood out to me, what I enjoyed about this book, because I think if you're in a space where you're like, I want to find that other thing that I love to do, I want to find work that fulfills me, this would be definitely a good book for you to read. So I hope you enjoyed this little review, and I am so thankful that you were here listening to this podcast episode. By all means, go out and check any other episodes, and hopefully there is something else from Embrace Your Brand that you would love to listen to, or even share this podcast with a friend or someone that you know. Leave a rating, a review. I truly appreciate those because this is a completely free podcast. Your help just helps me to keep this going. So thank you so much and have a blessed day.